Hi everybody. I was showing my projects to an old college pal, and he told me I needed to give YouTube a video tour of what I am doing. This is a 1940s Mead mower. Obviously that's not the correct engine, but the parts are super hard to find. So I'm going to take this transmission, it's a 2-speed with reverse, and I'm going to put it on this, which is a Wagalay scoot and mow. Now this is going to be fun though, because it's not going to be a lawnmower. It's going to be, I know it doesn't look like anything right now, but I already replaced the front tire. I've got replacement tires for this thing. It's big. This is going to have a sidecar, the whole deal. There's the seat for it. This thing is going to be really awesome. It's extremely heavy, so I'm going to put a little bit of a hefty motor on it. I don't need a huge one because it's not going to be a mower. If you notice, it's already got jack shafts and everything, so it's geared nice and low. I'm going to put the biggest tires I can on it, which would be probably these for the rear. The little bird feeder I made. Let's see, what else is in the works? I have my 1950s garden tractor with the 1924 Briggs & Stratton Model Z engine on it. This thing is really close to being done. I need to get adapters for these 16-inch wheels because they are not correct for the hubs. But this thing's real close to being usable. And then for that scoot and mow in the back that I just showed you, I'm thinking I may use this big red one. And the reason being is that you know, it's got enough power and everything. It's neat looking, but the big one that'll make it quite easy to do is it's already got one of these clutches on it. They're hard to see because of the way they're mounted, but this goes on there. If you pull that lever, it tightens the belt and you go forward. So I could just put a long handle on that, and you pull the lever, you go. You push forward, you stop. This is a vintage Hercules fan that I got running again. A straight model 23, that one, a 23A, a 5, a Model A, and then this vintage air compressor pump, which I am going to use to make bubbles in a pond. I'm going to set it up with a windmill, of all things. I rescued this from being buried in the dirt. Same with that one. These are both nice, by the way. And I have a whole bunch of various tools that I've rescued. Like a hammer. Cleaned up and everything. And then I made these. I needed a really good dead blow hammer. That's a soup can filled with pure lead and a piece of sucker rod stuck in the side of it before I filled the can. And I have no idea how much that thing weighs, but it's heavy. And I made a smaller one that I like even more because it's a little more manageable. This thing, which I believe is a Model A grease gun, I put a needle tip on it, and it is just beautiful for greasing like a chain or those kind of things. I had a whole bunch of stuff out that I have rescued. A whole series of these files, for instance. I've got a bunch of them. Big ones, little ones, triangle ones. And it turns out I never thought I needed one, but I use them a lot now. Let's see, what else do we got going here? Got plenty of belts and stuff. Oh, I rescued this thing, which I have used for drilling in concrete more than anything else. Where are those other? There's a bunch of stuff. Let's see, here's another one of those files. And yes, I'm an avid reloader. Those are 454 Castle rounds. I cast my own bullets and lube and size them in this press. This is a 315 grain gas check. I rescued this thing. All these tools that I'm pulling out, and when I say rescue, I mean they were almost unrecognizable. They were so corroded or buried in the dirt for generations. Got a bunch of sledgehammers that I saved, things like that, and all of these, I saved every one of these from rotting in the dirt. And most of them look like that first, and they're all usable, you know. Here's another one that I rescued. This is a upholstery hammer. Isn't that nice? And let's see what else. There's the drive wheel off of that Wiggle-A. There's the smokestack I'm going to put on this little tractor right here. There's a compressor set up that actually failed because I needed a more powerful motor, but that's not a big deal. And to continue, what else do we got going? Gosh, there's just so much. As a junk collector, I end up with all kinds of crap that ends up just being really cool to me. You know, nobody else would probably give a damn, but I think they're neat, so I get all fired up about it. I'm trying to think of what else there is. Oh, I tend to make my own extension cords because I like having that, oh gosh, it escapes my thing, the grounding switch, you know, the safety deal. I like that, so I have that. I make those all the time. I'll find a really good extension cord and just cut the end off and put a box like that on it. This thing is going to be pretty fascinating. It is a dolly, but it's got a lifting platform that was originally chain driven somehow with that bicycle chain. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to put a really big sprocket and then a tiny sprocket and just put a handle on the big sprocket so you can just wind things up and down. But this silly dolly probably weighs 200 pounds. I use it as a mobile welding table. There's a bunch of, this is kind of schizophrenic, so bear with me. I got a bunch of really cool old tap and dies that cleaned up very nicely, and there's one that is just a beautiful, beautiful tool, probably one of my favorites. This thing, it says 97 on this side, and then it says number 12, and it's got these, and I've actually used this little thing a couple of times. It's very, very cool. At the same time, I got this. The quality of these old ones is light years away from the modern crap. I believe this, yep, this is the die that goes in this one that I found. This was in it. And for some reason I get satisfaction drilling and tapping that is far out of proportion to what you're really doing. I just really dig it. I think it's fun. Let's see, what else are we doing? I have the shooting table. The mosquitoes are fierce out here. I'm going to use this or a deep cell and put it on the battery tray of the Wiggly so I can have headlights and stuff. Now the beauty of this thing is, because it is a lawnmower, you don't have to license it. Children can drive it and jump curbs with it, whatever you want. So I'm going to keep it like that, but I am going to paint it that circus yellow and red paint scheme again, and I'm going to make sure and do this pinstriping like they did in the day. I just got so much shit going on. Here's a vintage lawn boy that is all there, but I haven't been able to get the time to do much with it. I'm just a busy boy, man. Casting and shooting and attempting to fish. There's another one of those sizer presses. If anybody ever has questions about this stuff, by all means ask. That is another vintage fan motor that I want to get dialed in. I don't know what I'll do with it, but I like it because it's got a cool housing on it. I know that's a dumb reason, but it's enough for me. There's a dead. I wish this is the original block for that green sit and mow, and it's just so jacked. It's so snapped off stem in there, and so I gave up on that thing and stripped it. Sold some important parts to a buddy. But that's what's going on in the marvelous world of schizophrenic tinkering. I hope all is well with everybody, and I'll keep you posted on what I'm doing, man. For anybody, if and when anybody ever cares. Have a good evening.